Yep. I think we're ready. We all good? Ray? Ray out there in space?
All right.
Yes.
Welcome to the August 12th Arts and Culture Commission meeting. It is 6:40 p.m. and I call the meeting to order. And now I'll pass it off to John for roll call.
All right. Commissioner Agarwal?
Present.
Commissioner Laura? Chair Wong?
Present.
Seems like kindergarten.
Bueller?
Yes.
Okay, so now I read the agenda. We just jump into it.
Yeah, so we did the roll call, so it's now the item one, which is approval of minutes from March 25th.
Okay, so the first item on the agenda is meeting minutes for the March 25th, 2024 Arts and Culture Commission meeting. The recommended action is to review and approve the minutes for March 25th Arts and Culture Commission meeting. I will now ask if there are any comments.
None.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay,
Yeah. I second it.
all right, then we can proceed to voting, I believe.
Okay. Commissioner Agarwal?
Yeah, I approve.
I can.
I
Approve.
Aye.
I think 3-0, approve.
All right, next up on the agenda, artist awards, program descriptions, application requirements, evaluation forms, and 2024 program editing.
Through the chair, we also have postponements and oral communications.
Oh.
Okay. Do we have any postponements in oral communications?
No postponements, and so if you could read the oral communications, this portion of the meeting is reserved.
Okay. So under oral communications, this portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any matter within the jurisdiction of the commission and not on the agenda. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. In most cases, state law will prohibit the commission from making any decisions with respect to a matter not on the agenda.
No blue cards filled out.
Okay?
Good.
So we are now closing oral communications. Moving on to written communications. Are there any written communications received?
None.
Okay, having none, we will move on to old business. And there are no old business, and we will move on to new business.
Yeah, I mean, other than I do have just an update on some, I think I sent you guys an email of the benches for Westport were replaced and stuff like that too, so. That's my only old business. It's not an agendized item, so I mean, we can go further than that on stuff.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, have you seen, yeah, it looks great in person.
I like
Thank
it,
you.
Awesome.
Great to
Yeah.
see the impact of our work in the flesh.
There's more to come too.
Yes.
Bunch of coming.
Oh, and Jollyman Park started construction as well, so I
Yeah.
believe we should be expecting
okay.
that
Okay.
in the next.
Pretty soon, I think. Yeah, I know they sent out we sent out the invites. I don't know if any of you guys were able to make it to the groundbreaking ceremony. But yeah, so it's good. It's a good thing, and I think a lot of people can benefit from the community. So
Oh, we're looking forward to it. Let us know when it's.
absolutely, Will do.
Stop by there. Yeah.
Okay, ready for new business? So the first one, artist award program descriptions, application requirements, evaluation forms in 2024 program theme. The recommended action is to 1, review and approve the updated artist award program description, application requirements, and evaluation forms. And number 2, discuss and select a theme for the 2024 Artist Awards program. I will now pass it on to Jessica.
Yes. Take it away.
All right. Good evening, Chair and fellow commissioners. Jessica Javier, Parks and Recreation Admin Assistant. And tonight I will be presenting on the Artist Awards. Tonight we're going to review the program descriptions, application requirements, and the evaluation forms. And the commission tonight will also be selecting a 2024 program theme. So to start off, I'm gonna provide kind of an overview of the changes and the revisions that we have made to the descriptions, the criteria, and also the forms. These are also shown in attachments A and B that were included in the agenda. And then I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. And the changes do take into account all of the revisions that were reviewed in the March meeting, as well as the feedback that was provided by you all at that meeting as well. So a little bit of an overview of the changes that were made to the descriptions and the application criteria, and this is since the March meeting. So as a commission, we all decided, or you all decided that we will be having an overarching artist awards program theme for all 3 categories. Previously, there was only a theme for the Young Artist Award category, but as discussed, we will be doing a theme for the entire program. We've also limited the number of pages for the personal statement. So that would be 1 page max. And the resume and exhibition record will be 2 pages max. We've also added in language in the description that states submitting artwork from previous artist award submissions is highly discouraged in the hopes that we don't have artists submitting previous submissions that they've had. As well as the program now has a separate email from the commission, so it's artistawards@cupertino.gov. And that will help the influx of emails that are coming in when applications are coming in, and it won't all go to you all as well. So that's kind of an overview of the changes that were made since March. And that is again for the descriptions and the application criteria. And then overview of the changes that were made to the evaluation criteria since March. So as discussed at the March meeting, we've pared down the evaluation criteria per the recommendations of the commission. And we've added the theme into the criteria as well for distinguished and the emerging artist award categories. So I'm gonna kind of stop there for now. I'm here to answer any questions that you have on any of those. And then following that, we will have then a discussion for the 2024 Artist Awards Program theme. So I'm gonna stop there in case we all have any questions.
I have a question. Did we add another category for performing arts?
So in the artist awards in general, they can submit there can be a performing artist, literary artist, visual artist. So it's all in the same categories. It's not a
Okay.
separate category.
Okay, because last year we struggled because there was 1 book and 1, like performing art kind.
Yeah,
So-
it's still included in the same categories.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also thinking about it, especially the written.
Yeah.
Pieces of artwork.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was my question. Did we frame it in any way or did we just leave it? We didn't do anything.
Correct, yeah. But we did limit like the
One-
number
yeah,
of
you limit
pages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
So I believe it's written.
Exactly.
Oh,
yes.
is that for the profile, like, when the artist submit their artwork? Or it's
Yes,
for the written too?
yes, for the digital portfolio.
Because the
So-
portfolio is different from a literary work. So like, the book that was submitted was what, 250 pages or something? So
Correct, that's it.
literary. And then portfolio is like when I submit an art and then I write something about it. So that's my portfolio, what I write.
Yes,
So it would be great if we can have like, even for literary, if we have a page limit of say like short stories. And like 5 pages, I mean, we
If I
can,
may, if I may, I believe you put in limits, or I don't know if there are numbers that we actually decided, I don't remember, but it says for performing artists, 5 minutes worth of performances, up to 5 minutes.
okay,
I mean that, so we, yeah, so
Yeah, the
I-
video or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
videos should be limited to 5 minutes. Film entries should be limited to 5 minutes, and also literary, so written
Yeah.
art, should be no more than 5 pages, so
Oh.
that is written in.
oh, that's good.
yes, and those were changes that we made in the first revision that was presented at the March meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
ones that I,
I'm sorry, I forgot.
oh, no, no worries.
This was
It was a
my-
while ago.
This was my main question too, but you also reminded me of that portfolio description. So that is limited, I believe now to.
Yes, so
Print
originally,
pages.
yeah, so originally, For the digital portfolio for visual artists, they
Yeah.
used to be able to submit up to 10 pieces.
Yes.
And now it's only 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think each of them is now
Got
well
pared down.
contained.
Yes, yeah.
At least to do a fair evaluation. and
Yes.
be able to review.
Exactly. Perfect.
And
Thank
also, I feel, if I may add, I think it also helps the applicants understand that you really not only you don't need to put in 20 pieces of
Exactly.
paintings or sculptures, select the ones and then the theme is important. So I think it helps them too, like if they're thinking, shall I just send my whole life
Everything.
history sculptures and or whatever the art is. So I think it's even helpful to them, not just to have also more comparable pieces. If somebody has 10, then how do you value that with somebody that had 2? We had
Exactly.
that last time.
Yes.
How do you make a fair comparison, right? So I think this is, at least I feel that was a good discussion.
Or maybe we can make a category on that too, like 3 pieces, one dedicated to the theme. And then other 2 pieces, we can like give a slightly, we can give a category saying that, a portrait or something like that to show that it's consistent within all the submissions.
I think as written, it says so for distinguished artists, they can submit up to 3 visual pieces, but one of them has to be connected to the theme.
Yes,
But I don't think we currently specify what the other 2
okay,
are
yeah.
about.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
so
can
we
try
can
this
think
year.
about like categories, that's what I was
Mhm.
suggesting.
It's a good. more
So then
refinement.
it's consistent, like, like if somebody says, okay, draw furniture, one should be furniture and one should be portrait, then, how people draw it, that really tells, that's easy to compare and, like judge. That's what I feel.
So the other part that I remember from the discussion to that piece was, especially for the senior artists, by that I mean experienced artists, this period may not be enough to generate the 2 more impromptu,
Yeah,
almost like on the spot.
yes,
They need different kind of inspiration to have those. So to give them that freedom, it could be a piece that they worked on maybe for, I don't know, 6 months, 1 year. I have no idea. Rather than in 1 week now, I must do this.
no, that's totally
That was, I remember that
understandable. Yes.
discussion. It's not just my.
Yes.
And I thought that also Karen had some merit, especially for the experienced ones. Let them kind of use what they have done.
Sure,
Yeah, so,
maybe like for next year or so, we can
Yeah.
think about it.
yeah, I think
Amend
it's
it.
something absolutely worth
Yeah.
discussing. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
We can see how this year goes with the
Yeah.
revised guidelines and if there are
Perfect.
Yeah.
additional comments, we can
Yes.
discuss that. I think one comment that I've had, it should be relatively quick and easy.
Yes.
Just in terms of formatting,
Mhm.
I really liked how we're unifying the evaluation criteria across the different categories. So it just makes it a little bit easier for us. For young artists, it's written as media and tools, whereas all the other ones are media dash tools. Can we
Got it.
update that? And then also, all the other ones have it as like basically creativity and originality.
Mhm.
So basically, can we update the title of the young artist one to just creativity? Just to be more in line with basically with the wording of the other two bullets.
Yes, definitely. Any other question?
No,
Thanks,
Jessica.
I think it's really nice.
Okay,
Okay,
then if there are no other.
Yes.
Sorry, how do we do this?
Yes.
Should we vote now or?
so I was thinking that at the very end of the item, we can do just one final
Okay,
motion. Since this is kind of a 2-part item. So then we'll kind of move on to having you all discuss the theme. And so this will be a theme for the whole program across all 3 categories. So the young artists, emerging and distinguished. I just wanted to kind of refresh everyone's memories from last year. So these were some themes that was discussed by the commission, but not selected. So I'm just gonna read them out, maybe, who maybe want to do them this year. So we had architectural heritage of Cupertino was one. We had Cupertino heritage and your idea of home. We also had your hero or your role model. And then we also had the strength of diversity. And so those were just some that were mentioned from last year. So I'll repeat them again. Architectural heritage of Cupertino. Cupertino heritage and your idea of home. Your hero or role model. And the strength of diversity. And these were discussed last year, but remember they were only for the Young Artist Award category. So this year we are thinking of a theme for the entire program as a whole. But just something to keep in.
So, may I?
Yes.
Okay, can you, because I remember this, your idea of home was picked up in the theme that we had selected, that piece. So what was the theme of last?
Yeah, so
Similar that,
Yes,
because you hadn't,
Artist identity, what influences you?
yes.
that's what we.
or the
That's what we
influence.
decided on
What
last year.
influences you?
So I don't think we actually
We
touched
had
on the
the whole
heritage
thing.
part, yeah.
No, not the
Oh,
heritage.
sorry, the home, yeah, we didn't.
It kind of stayed with me.
It was discussed, I think, quite heavily.
Maybe heavily. All right.
But yeah, but yes, and I told you all that I would write these all down
Thank you.
and bring them back.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
And then-
Yeah.
I will give it back to the chair and you guys are able to discuss.
Yeah, any comments, thought, what comes to
So my
mind?
first thought is, because we had last year what influences you, that's a little bit like the role model. So unless, yeah, that is my first thing.
Okay,
But
I was thinking like unity in diversity, because Cupertino is very diverse and we have like different, the melting pot of different cultures. So, and then now, like, it'll be good to see how we identify with each other and, how different cultures are melding and, bringing Cupertino together. So something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't come prepared with a lot, but I think one that I was thinking about beforehand was building community, and I think
Okay.
it's very similar to the one that you just mentioned. Kind of the idea of bringing people together.
Yes.
may I ask a different question? Oh, well, of course related, but does city have a theme in the year or something? And I'm thinking about climate,
Overall theme. No.
climate and
We
environment.
have, sorry, the city has priorities, strategic priorities.
Yeah, it's something.
But I don't think we have a theme like the year of clean air.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I had in mind, because that discussion, what the library function anyhow. We had selected that as a year, and I don't know what prompted us to, but but it's been also widely talked about climate and environment. It's not a new thing, but it's still a very valid topic. That does resonate very well, especially with the young.
Yes.
Yeah, but so just an idea, just to park it there.
No, definitely.
It's not a selection.
Do you have like a recommended wording that you like?
Let's maybe just keep the theme for now, if we get interested,
So
brainstorm.
like climate, sustainability. related.
Yeah, climate,
Climate.
sustainability and environment. Those are some of the words.
We
that-
need to decide it for today, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
All the way back.
Mine,
Jonathan?
And I mean, actually, I mean, looking at the list of like past themes from recent years, there is nothing that's related, that specifically touches on climate or environment, so that could be a good one. brainstorming, any other ideas?
So when we
Let's
talk
see.
about, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When you talk about diversity, I mean, this is, I definitely speaks to me. The wording is right now, we haven't decided, but the other part is also the culture. So there is an implicit, that could be something we want to use or not want to use, again, something that does relate very much to our Arts and Culture Commission, but also very much relates to the diversity factor, which is inherent already. But I kind of like to think about diversity more than the exterior diversity of, color and gender, more on the culture. So it's a different axis rather than the physical attributes. So it's included, of course, but just a word I would like to just again kind of keep somewhere. I mean, I think it's interesting to say somewhere.
Sorry, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Like role models might be good too, especially for younger kids category. But we are keeping it consistent for all the categories.
No, all quite good topics. At least that's one feeling I have. We can't go really wrong if we
Yes.
are in the zone. Yeah.
Just to help people brainstorm a little bit, so the city council goals.
Yeah.
Are public engagement and transparency, transportation, housing, quality of life, and sustainability and fiscal strategy. So just sharing things in case it helps spark some imagination.
I think the two that I'm hearing so far is something with diversity or culture. And then also something with like climate or sustainability. I think those are the two that I think I've heard, I think the most so far. That helps a little bit.
I guess going around the circle.
Yeah.
Do any of the topics that we've discussed so far kind of like resonate with you? In particular? I'm just trying to like, how do we get this moving? So maybe we can all share a little bit of where we're leaning.
May I speak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so overall, I can take into any of these topics if anyone, I'm not, I like them all, at least. I don't have to vote anything down. So I will almost go along. The ones the two that kind of has, I always feel very, very strongly about, strength and diversity, this melting pot kind of thing. Personally, probably all of us, but I definitely going to the rest of the world and living here next. And I feel that's the strength of this area. So that really speaks to me. Climate sustainability is also a very strong topic. So if I had to kind of prioritize on what I would easily kind of say yes is for those two, and I can see us forming something there in the team.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I guess maybe this doesn't really help us make a decision, but I feel similarly. I mean, I think climate sustainability, like, I'm really excited about that one just because, I mean, looking at past things, I don't think we've touched on it, and it's such a present and timely topic. And also I am really excited about unity, diversity, community, culture.
Community.
Yeah, I really like the word community because
Yes.
yeah, if we end up going with the unity, diversity, culture one, if we can kind of sprinkle in community
Yeah.
as well, I that's a lot.
Yeah, same thing here. Like they all seem like really good topics and we can pick anything. So,
Yeah.
you know, and if you want to, we can like. So we can say environmental unity and culture.
Why don't we try to workshop the actual language for each one? So, I mean, it sounds like between the three of us, there's really two that are bubbling to the surface,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Kind of the environmental one and the diversity,
Yes.
unity, culture, community one. So why don't we try to workshop like what language we actually want or are thinking about, and maybe that will help us kind of
Yes,
decide on
exactly.
one or the other.
Let's see, should we add ChatGPT? Yeah. Like come up with topics.
Why do we need commissioners?
See bots here.
Well,
No, John, we came up with the topic, we just wanted verbiage.
Well, I mean, staff comment, I know this is typically not the norm, but how do you protect against AI for the art submissions?
Yeah, see, that's another thing I was thinking
Yeah.
about, like,
Is there some language you want to add into the?
That's
right.
so maybe we should discourage digitally generated art. I don't know.
Sorry if I confused it.
No, that's perfect.
Sorry, Jessica.
Thanks for,
It's okay.
thanks for bringing it up, John.
Thank you, and
I mean,
It's like, this was a very real,
real, very
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
timely
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, we'll need some advice and guidance from you all.
Well, not me, I'm,
Well,
took 3 people to do this.
I would have to I would have to probably look into that more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I feel like it might be hard to have. I mean, I feel like the more practical course of action would just be to include a line like in the description that basically says, or. Yeah, I mean, I would want to do a little bit of research to get inspiration on how other competitions and organizations word it, but.
Yeah, it'll be nice to say something about like, digitally generated art is, I'm thinking of a word.
I mean, I think the language is really important because I
Exactly.
remember last year we did receive some really impressive like digital art, right?
Yes.
I mean, but it looked like someone drew it. Like, I mean, there are softwares where you draw, right?
yeah.
So how do we distinguish that versus, I think what we're specifically saying is we don't want AI generated
Mhm,
art,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, and with this contest in particular, we do allow all different types of medium. And digital art is a form that
Yeah.
we do accept.
Maybe we can make it a different category.
Yeah,
So
that-
that
that's
way,
it. I would-
people who want to submit that,
Yeah.
get their own category and don't get compared with people who are, doing the art by hand and.
Yes, but I wouldn't say, I think right now we're kind of getting away from the discussion of, I think the program at hand currently where it's categorized right now,
Yes.
right? So currently we have distinguished emerging, and a young artist award category. In the descriptions currently, it does accept all forms of medium. And I think if that was something you wanted to look into, it would probably have to be a discussion for next year. Like if you wanted to start getting more into like trying to create new categories, et cetera, because there's
Okay.
funding involved with this.
Oh,
And
okay,
money set aside for each 3 of those categories.
okay. We cannot redistribute the money. It's like, instead of $5, $100 each, we cannot say 75 each and,
No, so we have a platinum award for
Okay.
each category and it's been
Okay.
approved in the budget.
okay. All right, sounds fair.
Good, is it, we are, of course, we have this topic still, but on that, is it, a way, at least to ask them to define, the category of art they are showing? So if it is digitally generated, can they at least let us know that?
Yes, that will be good. So, I mean,
Just
if we-
indicate sculpture, whatever, art or sketch or there could be different categories even in drawing. Or this is performing arts, but then
Yeah.
we obviously know it's performing arts because we see them performing. But just put in very general, we would like you to indicate the category of art for which you are giving the submission. And then they should digitally say, because we don't want to be guessing it, that is it AI or half digital or drawn on a computer or is actually created totally outside any kind of software tools.
I can look into adding a question in the application.
Yeah,
I can. see
if we
that.
all
Okay.
agree, I'm just still discussing, but how, at least I was a little bit surprised last time that, okay, now how do we look at it? But at least we should know what they've submitted. All of
Yes.
us are artists and maybe you are too.
Well, art is very subjective.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think, so is your recommendation to add a question, basically categorizing art during the application process?
No, they self-categorize, just indicate, I'm putting in, this is this art is sculpture, art is digital art, or is AI generated art.
Yeah,
At least we know what we are looking
art
at.
is disclaimer kind of thing. Where-
Or claimer, actually.
Yeah, claimer.
I mean, I think for me personally, I'm just speaking for myself, I don't know how much, like, I don't know how much that would benefit, like, or I don't know how much value I see in, like having them say for themselves, oh, it's sculptural or like drawing, just because I think looking at the submission, I can tell. But if the issue at hand is specifically trying to discourage like AI generated art, I think my preferred route would be to just add like a line in the description, right? I'm thinking specifically in the paragraph that says the limits of like basically the page limit and all the requirements of the submission, to basically insert a sentence that says AI generated art is strictly prohibited or something like that.
Yeah, that, I would agree with that. What about that in-between categories, which we had last year?
Oh, like digital art?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, if it's not AI generated, then I think it should be permitted.
But wouldn't we like to know if it's hand-drawn or it's digitally produced somehow? Some tools are used, wouldn't we like to know?
See, I think you are an artist. so
Yeah,
it's
for you.
easy for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I can, like, I do multimedia, but, you know, like my medias are very different and it's hard for me to recognize, you know, like last year also, I was not very happy the way we judged it. So, I want very clear guidance how to judge an art so that, none of the artists feel neglected or, I mean, every art was amazing last year and we should give them their due, we should do our due diligence. So that's why I'm trying to get more categories because, that will give us a really good path how to judge them when they come in.
I think the problem with having too many categories outside of these three that we currently have is that let's say you were to have a literary artist category. Not every year do we get literary submissions. Same with performing artists as well. Same with digital too, right?
Yeah.
It really
Okay.
depends on the year, it depends on the submissions. Last year we had a really popular year, but not every year has been, that significant in submissions.
Okay,
Last year in particular was just the year that we received the most we've ever had. And so every year is a little bit different and not every year do you get every type of medium in
okay.
visual arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine. That's why I do like, at least at minimum, the AI exclusion. At least
Yeah.
I think if you all agree with that, I think that's something we don't want to be at least clearly not there yet.
Yes.
And I personally would also like the other one is to indicate the kind of art that you are submitting.
Okay.
I don't. I think.
I can look into that.
Okay.
I would say adding in the the AI generated art is strictly prohibited, as a disclaimer, kind of similar to how we added in, right? Submitting previous submissions is highly
Yeah.
discouraged,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Cause for us to go in, right, and look at every single submission and compare it to the previous years, right? So I think I can add in a disclaimer.
Okay.
And I think we could see how that goes, and if
I
it's,
think
if it
that's
is an
fine.
issue, I think after this Artist Awards
Yeah.
year, we can look at
Yes.
taking it one step further next
I
year,
agree.
if that's
I
okay.
think that's
So
fine.
I thought as an art and culture commissioner, we are supposed to decide this, isn't it?
Yes, this is just my suggestions.
Just seeing the,
I'm just kidding.
the big change that we've already made.
Sounds
Let's see
good.
how that goes forward.
Yes,
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay,
That's all.
bringing the conversation
Back
back
to this.
to the topics.
Yes.
This
Thanks, John. No, that was a.
We should
that was
have
really
you
good.
as a fourth
Yes.
commissioner.
But thank you for reminding me.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
Totally not.
I apologize, especially Jessica, sorry about that.
Okay, so I
This
think where
one.
we were is,
Yes.
there's two leading theme areas, right? One was unity, diversity, culture, community, and the other one being climate, sustainability, environment. So, does anyone want to take a stab at the verbiage of what it could be?
Yeah, so, again, last year, we had kind of a phrase, right? It was not just words.
Yes, phrase.
That's why I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean for you?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because, what I was thinking and just giving it a try, what does environment and sustainability mean in your community? That's how far I've come. And the reason for that is I do like the word community as well. And it also gives the context for sustainability and environment. It also again brings it to you as the person, as the artist, rather than this is happening in the world in some place. That what does it do to me? That's why I like the word community. That kind of brings the focus back to us. Could be even Cupertino, could be them, could be their home, could be anything, but more close to us. And that's why I like the word community. And I thought maybe we can put that in that form. Yeah, one try.
Another attempt. So building community, colon, or is that the right, yeah, dot. Unity, diversity, and culture,
Building
So they-
community, oh, okay, and
dot.
Yeah.
Unity, diversity, and culture.
Okay.
Basically just all the words that we have the same.
How about just building sustainable community?
Well,
I think that's a
yeah.
good one.
You know, that's it.
That's a good one.
I mean, not that's it.
It's
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 like-
Sorry. Yeah, it has a bit of, it's
Everything.
vague, but it's also pretty specific, yeah,
Yes.
it has a bit of both.
It has community, which we really
Yeah.
want.
the building part and
And the
the sustainable
sustainable
part. Yeah,
part.
I think that could be, it's also more succinct. Any advice or guidance?
This is your creativity.
Yeah.
So overall, we are still going to pick one or the other and then
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
use the best formulation is the most kind of attractive, but the themes are still quite distinct, right? I think we all,
definitely.
okay.
And then we can, I mean, if we end up coming up with two that we really like, we can bookmark the other one for next year.
Yeah. Jessica's been very good with it.
Do we maybe want to read back the three that you just said?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the first one, that Commissioner Rojas said was, what does environment and sustainability mean in your community? And then Chair Wong said, building community, unity, diversity, and culture. And then Commissioner Agarwal said, building a sustainable community.
I think she said building sustainable.
sustainable.
Yeah, that's
Not,
a,
question, do we want the,
that's a question, no, still.
My vote would be for no,
So building a
Yeah, building
sustainable
sustainable
community.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or we can just say community. Like diversity. No, community, environment. And sustainability. Like community colon,
uh,
you know. No. I was thinking already.
Okay.
last one for me,
Yeah,
sustainability and the environment.
Or environmentally sustainable united community. I'm just playing with words.
I think you're trying too hard.
I know, I'm just trying to match all the words in the right order. I think you're doing very well.
Okay, any last ones before, I'm thinking maybe let's kind of come up with a pool and then
Yeah,
have Jessica read it back and then we can vote.
I think so,
once we
yeah, so we
So
have.
any other that we wanna
We have
add
at
to
least
the pool?
four, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
any of the last two you want to add, I didn't yet write them, because one you
No, I'm
already
good.
erased, so I'm not sure.
I'm good. It's just like playing with the same word.
Yeah, of course, but that helps, you
Yeah,
know,
Yeah, no, it's
if not that, something else,
Yes.
so it's always helpful.
it's part of the ideation process. Okay, do we want to maybe go ahead and vote that?
Yeah, we have four now.
Yes.
Okay, so number one is, what does environment and sustainability mean in your community? Number two is building community, unity, diversity, and culture. Number three is building sustainable community. And number four is sustainability and the environment. So those are the four options.
So how do we go about it now?
Well, I guess we can decide, I mean, one way is we each vote for one. And
Or
then
just
maybe,
one?
yeah, and maybe the one that doesn't get any votes, we can eliminate and we can keep on going. from
Oh,
there.
okay, all right.
All right.
But what was the third one? Sorry.
Yeah, building sustainable community.
Okay.
So whoever is ready first.
Okay.
can-
My vote will be for building sustainable
Yeah.
community.
Okay,
Me too.
I think we are done.
Okay. That is easy.
okay, so our winner is building sustainable community. No A, just
Okay.
building sustainable community.
Yes.
Okay.
You happy?
Good with me.
Yeah,
All right,
Okay,
shall we have a motion?
Oh, yeah,
sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Does someone want to make a motion?
Hint, hint.
I don't have the verbiage.
Okay, I'll make a motion to select the theme for this year's Artist Award as Building Sustainable Community.
Give a second.
I said,
And also approve the, what is it called? The program description, application requirements and evaluation form,
Okay,
conditional with
Yes.
a couple of recommendations that we had.
Yes, and do you want me to say them back to you?
Sure.
Okay, so the conditions are under the young artist evaluation form to update the language of the media and tools to match the other two categories. We'll also update the young artist title in one of the award categories to creativity. And I believe that is in place of, let me tell you exactly. In place of creativity of contest theme, we'll just shorten it to creativity. Those are the changes there. And then also to add in language that says AI generated art is strictly prohibited.
Okay,
so
So
we
that's
have the motion. Do we have a second?
second?
second. Okay, I'll try this.
Second,
Go ahead.
okay.
Okay,
Commissioner Agarwal seconded it.
okay, I think we're good. I think it's only three of you.
All in favor?
Shall we vote?
Sure, I mean, go Wong.
Aye.
Okay.
I vote for.
Aye, good.
Thank you.
3 ayes.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Jessica.
And just for next step, so I'll update the website with all of the changes that were made today and approved. I will also update the flyers and send those out to you all. And if anyone would like printed copies, I'm more than happy to print them. Online applications open September 1st, so
Okay.
coming up very
Okay.
quickly.
Yes.
It closes on October 1st at 4:30 PM.
Okay.
Staff will then compile and I will bring back all of these submissions for evaluation in November. And I will do my best to have them be anonymous. So I will work on that for you all. And then we still plan to have our ceremony and art exhibition next January.
Okay.
And I will aim to keep it the same day as your guys' meeting.
Do we have a date for that already?
January.
Fourth Monday of January.
I don't know.
Wow, already.
27th would be
Okay.
the tentative date right now.
Cool.
Okay.
So question on the meeting, so not in this, because you went from now to November, we have a September meeting. Yeah.
So applications are still open during.
Yeah,
that
but
period.
you just discuss other topics, not because this will be in process or like.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, that's
And I
fine.
can give John an update on number of applications received and he
Yeah.
can provide you all with that
Sure.
update.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
When is the
Thank you,
meeting in
Jessica.
September? Thanks. Jessica.
Yes,
December 23rd, I believe, right? December 23rd is what's,
Yep.
and then November 18th.
it is.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, November, we have 2 Novembers, November 18th, November 25th.
September is 20.
I'll go back to the minutes and.
I see it as November 18th.
November 18th, okay.
I believe it was originally November 25th, but we specifically did
Yeah.
not like it.
Because
to
things
fix
were
it.
out of town, right?
Yeah, so we said.
What is
we
it,
could
18th?
have it on the 18th.
Yeah, because the 25th was Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have it at on 18.
I gotta have the city clerk take it off our webpage.
So here's September
Thanks.
23rd. You were thinking?
Thank you.
Jessica.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jessica.
Jessica.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your
Yeah, thank you.
You too.
Okay.
Go ahead,
We
yeah.
move Right along.
Item number 3. Yep.
Okay, item number 3 is presentation and discussion on art programming in selected neighboring jurisdictions. Recommended action if you receive presentation by me and provide feedback on art programming ideas for the city of Cupertino. Do you have it?
Let me,
So the context here is really, yeah, I guess speaking for myself, I think as a I mean, our flagship initiative as a commission is the Artist Awards. I mean, that's like the really big thing that we do every year, and I think it's a fantastic event. I mean, we had a record number of applications last year, really, really encouraging to see the involvement. And I'm thinking as a commission, it seems like this, I mean, the Artist Award is already a pretty well-oiled machine, and obviously we have been making improvements to it. But relatively speaking, it's pretty well oiled. So what else can we do? What else
Perfect.
can we focus our energy on to really fulfill our mandate of promoting and encouraging and inspiring more art? So the purpose of this presentation is kind of really to just help get the creative juices flowing and really kind of share a couple of examples from our neighboring cities on what kind of activities and what kind of initiatives do they have? So hopefully we can brainstorm and think, okay, what do we want to bring to Cupertino?
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah, just let me know when.
So moving, yeah, next slide, please. So just, this is just a recap of what is written on the agenda. So specifically in this presentation, I pulled examples of art programming from, I mean, Cupertino, just to remind everyone what the commission has done and what the city has done. I also have examples from Mountain View, Santa Clara, Palo Alto, and San Francisco. Next. Next. So in the past, I think this is before all three of ours time, but the commission has had an initiative, Art in Unexpected Places. So just reading the description pulled from the website, Art in Unexpected Places is an effort to beautify public spaces, surprise and delight passersby, and encourage the community to reflect on themes and imagery that represent the heritage, natural beauty, diversity, and creativity of our city. So I believe the pilot program that was completed back in April of 2022 is shown in the image on the right. So this was completed by a local artist, a resident of Santa Clara, and a member of the Fine Arts League of Cupertino. And the Arts and Culture Commission at the time chose this mural as a way for the community to reflect on themes and imagery that represent the heritage, natural beauty, and creativity of the city. My understanding, I mean, John, please correct, is that after this pilot program, I mean, it hasn't been continued, but I guess part of the reason why I would like to have this conversation is if we as a commission really, really like this idea, we could make the recommendation to try to bring it back. And I understand there's funding and that involved, but the hope is that at least we are aligned with what we want so that we can advocate for that at the higher levels.
A question,
Yes.
what was the funding for that?
I
Just about,
I don't recall,
Yeah.
but I could follow up.
like to know.
Yeah, I would too. I don't recall what.
Okay, okay.
Is this still there?
I hope so.
Should be, yeah.
And I believe that, and Chairman, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that a lot of this was also meant for art and private developments as well too. You know, Main Street has some art pieces that are hidden that, you know, like behind Orange Hummus, there's a mural as well. If you go the alley behind Orange Hummus on Main Street, you can see, you know, it's beautiful, beautiful mural.
Okay.
Is that the one kind of like behind it or?
It is, so there's an alley that goes.
Yeah, the alley that goes to the parking garage, okay, that's not a great location.
Unexpected.
Unexpected.
It was unexpected. Maybe too unexpected, right? So,
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I mean, the
We
name
know
of the
this.
program is what it is, but I mean, how I personally view it is basically murals, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be truly an unexpected place.
Yes.
It can be a public place. It's basically just an effort to
Yes.
make the city more beautiful.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on. So this is an example of
Yeah.
what Cupertino did back in 2018. So utility box art contest, relatively straightforward, but basically, I actually don't have John, do you have the background on how this was organized?
This was, I think it was through Public Works, so I think it was through sustainability, they had some funding. I can't remember if it was through a grant or through the city.
Okay,
So it was through a fund, from what I recall, it was through a funding source that was just unintuitive, kind of like what, like, Public Works, sustainability, there's supporting, but I think that's how, because I remember some of my colleagues in Public Works were managed this process, not necessarily Parks and Rec, so.
cool. Yeah, so basically, I mean, you should see these around, basically turn these boxes into canvases. Okay, moving on. So one more, please. So this isn't a piece of art, but the reason I wanted to highlight this is because I thought it was a really helpful framework in which the Mountain View equivalent of our commission kind of how do they organize themselves?
Okay.
So I believe annually they put together a committee, a visual arts committee work plan. So very similar, the way I interpreted this is it's very similar to how the city council, they have, or not city, just, is it city council work plan or just city work plan? What is it called?
City work plan.
Yeah, so very similar in how Cupertino has a city work plan. The Mountain View Arts Commission has their own work plan, basically listing out, okay, what do we want to accomplish? How, and prioritizing all of the things that they could do, and it's just a way to keep them organized. So maybe not something that we need to bring to our commission right now, just yet, but I think having organization among us and having alignment among us in terms of what do we care about, what do we want to see, I think that would be really helpful in us making an impact.
I also see there are some budgets there, so they have some amounts available.
Yes.
That always helps.
Yes.
I believe they also have staff, that's all they do is a public art portion too. Just to add on to, I think David, I looked at your, presentation, it's great. I think there's a lot more information coming up, but myself and the CIP, and oh my God, I'm totally blanking on her name, we worked together last year. We were interviewing about 10 different cities as well and talked about what their processes were, right, and all that.
Art in View.
For the art and loose stuff, which, I think, Chair Wong, you and I have to decide our agenda review for the next meeting, what we wanna start that process now, but we can talk at the end.
Yeah, I mean, that, yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of good ideas out there. So,
Good ideas in terms of,
in terms of just like how things are organized and, in terms of like how we can, how the commission can, for the art loop policies and, how to generate monies through developments and stuff like that too. Because sometimes doing these art pieces on private development starts like pulling teeth. And it gives less flexibility to.
okay, perfect, yeah, looking forward to that conversation. Okay, next up. So yeah, I guess summarizing a little bit, in the city of Mountain View, and that's what this slide is, and also I believe a couple of the jurisdictions that I saw, is they have a physical space in which they can exhibit art. So I believe this is actually something that we've talked about in the past of like, hey, can we exhibit art in Quinlan? Can we exhibit art at City Hall? Can we have a designated space where we can basically promote local artists and artists from our community? So this is an example of a city doing that. So on a rotating basis, they work with local artists to exhibit in the lobby of the Mountain View Center for Performing Arts, and also in the Community Development Department's lobby within City Hall. And their exhibits are approximately 6 to 8 weeks in length and viewed by thousands of people visiting downtown. The public art program supported by the city encourages local artists to showcase their talent, creating an open air gallery that enhances the daily lives of residents and visitors alike. Okay, moving on. One more, please. So we've already talked about utility box art, but this is just one more example of another jurisdiction and them doing a very similar thing. So yes, City of Santa Clara did a fantastic one. City of Palo Alto. So I will preface it with, it does seem like the city of Palo Alto has a lot of funding. But the reason, okay, so actually, the way I organized the presentation is actually in order of like, what is more realistic, just given our circumstances, to aspirational. But I did think it was important for us to talk about the aspirational ones, because I really want us to dream big. I mean, we might not be able to make it happen, but why limit ourselves, right? So this is just some inspiration for the types of initiatives, like large initiatives that other cities have been able to do. So the city of Palo Alto, they have an artist studio program. So in short, the program consists of 22 studios for long-term and short-term artist residencies and is administered by the Division of Arts and Sciences, City of Palo Alto. And this program provides city-sponsored affordable studio space for artists, building creative community and fostering public engagement with the arts and artists. Okay. And the city of Palo Alto also has a bunch of murals, some very large and very, very beautiful. And I think logistically, the way the city of Palo Alto has approached it is they put out a call for muralists. So basically anyone in the community who is interested in doing this type of large format art submitted an application or submitted their profile so that the commission and the city had a roster of, hey, these are potential artists that we can tap if we have the space available. So yeah, they basically have a roster. And individuals, businesses, or property owners who are interested in placing a mural on an external wall, construction fence, utility box, or other location visible from the public right of way and within the city of Cupertino, city of Palo Alto, may commission an artist approved by the public art program.
That's very
That
nice.
sounds good idea.
It's basically playing the role of curating
Yeah.
rather than no funds involved, basically. You don't even have
No,
to. It's the entity that will commission them will be paying for them. So the arts and culture, the city doesn't have to pay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I can't claim to know all the details of the
Yeah, but I
financials,
mean-
but at least as written on
Yeah.
their website, it's
Yeah.
what it seems
Yeah,
like.
that's what it sounds like, yeah. And they're beautiful, so.
The hot.
If I may, is that temporary art on the bottom, I'm assuming, or is that permanent?
I would have to double check. Yeah,
I mean,
I think some are temporary for sure and some are permanent.
So Palo Alto, do you have any other on Palo Alto?
Yes, one more. Oh, well, the one more is another utility box.
Okay, that's fine. But they also do, Palo Alto also does something beautiful. So at Thanksgiving,
Okay,
at the library, so they have community space at the library, like we have also now with the library expansion. So they do this
Pumpkin pastel?
yes,
The glass
the-
pumpkin pastel?
yeah, but it's gorgeous. It is this what do you call glass
Glass
blowing,
blown.
and
oh, I think
they're
I've seen
gorgeous. I mean,
Yeah.
like each of them, and they also sell them actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're like, I wanted to buy, I don't know where I'll keep it, and like how, you need a prominent place for it, but it's like beautiful just to visit.
Yes.
It's like something for the eyes. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's really amazing. It's quite an, I mean, they do it every year. It's just obviously open to the community to purchase and just look, and they make beautiful postcards to advertise for it. Even the postcard that I have, I picked it up, even that I like, I still have it. I mean,
When, I might have missed it, when did you say this?
it's
takes
just
place?
before Thanksgiving. It's
Yeah.
that season, and they are pumpkins. but-
Yes, they are all pumpkins, glass
But I mean, they're
pumpkins.
gorgeous. They're just
Yeah.
like,
That's so cool.
they're not, of course, actual pumpkins there. But the colors and the whole look is very nice.
Basically, various artists from all over the Bay come to display, especially pumpkins. And there are different other artwork about glass blowing too.
Yeah.
But pumpkins is their main focus. And they've been doing it for, as far as I know.
Yeah,
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
yes.
Yes, I think, there's more slides.
Oh, yes, there's a couple
Okay.
more.
Let's finish that and then
Yeah.
we'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point that I wanted to make over here is really just. The city of Palo Alto, I'm on their mailing list and I'm their public mailing list, and I mean, there's so many opportunities, they have so many opportunities to have local artists get involved. So I mean, these are just some examples of the call to actions that they send out. So I mean, you can see in May, they so they're publicizing the new Fire Station 5 mural. And then they have, as part of their residency, they have presentations. And I would love for the city of Cupertino to create more opportunities for our local artists
Yeah.
to contribute.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, San Francisco.
Yeah, so again, aspirational. But yes, they do have a lot of money. But these are the scale of the types of projects that they're working with. Sorry, it's really small. Let me try to see some details. Okay, so just reading, the San Francisco Arts Commission invites artists and artist teams residing in the US to submit qualifications for the design of up to 1,300 square feet of artist designed fence panels. Blah, 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 and then they have the link for how to apply. And then on the right hand side, that's a advertisement for welcoming people to view their gallery. So very similar to what I shared about the city of Mountain View having the public gallery on city property. The city of San Francisco has an art, so yeah, it's called the SFAC, so I believe San Francisco Arts Commission or San Francisco Arts Commission main gallery. So it's a physical space in which they invite artists to exhibit their art. And so yeah, that's basically saying the dates of when members of the public can go view the art.
Staff question. So
Yes.
I noticed there's a $25,000 budget for a certain project. I mean, what's a reasonable budget for, like say, a mural? I mean, is that enough to do something that's like?
I don't personally know, but would love to do research to try to understand. Yeah.
That would be interesting to see, like, you know, how much can you draw out the dollar amount?
Yeah.
You know, I see with a lot of these private developments, like, you know, how much those cost and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of those are acknowledged artists, and you know, these are maybe more amateur. You know, these are questions I have personally that I'm just kind of thinking out loud, so.
Oh, sorry, are you saying basically like the artists that we've commissioned through the Muni code, like oftentimes the price point is so high?
Yeah.
Like you could fit like 10 of these.
I mean, just look at the, I mean, let's talk an example, those benches that are in front of Westport,
Yeah.
those are like $200,000 for benches. You know,
So if we could
Really?
commission muralists, I mean, in theory, if 25,000 is actually truly reasonable, I mean, we could have done 4.
Yeah, or fireworks.
Yeah.
For what, sorry?
For the benches, in the
Oh, okay.
benches,
How many benches are there? They could quite a lot.
5, I think,
Is it only 5?
yeah.
400.
But one,
100. for five, so you're thinking like, 20-25,000 each? And those are things that, could have been, again, maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but those are things that, we got, the commission can consider, is it better to have those in lieu fees and then
Yeah.
commission someone to do a mural for $100? And
Yeah, I think we should tap into local artists arena and see. I mean, from the last year's submission, seems like we had amazing artists in the coming. So I
much
would
talent,
like,
so much
I would
talent.
just, and then they can feel proud and, they can display their art and, it'll bring the community together.
I agree.
So,
Maybe we can frame it as saving money for the city and
yes,
also
beautifying,
getting more.
yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I think one of the standards for pre-municipal code has to be someone that's noted and really just
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's a little bit more overhead.
yeah. I mean, and part of that too is actually installation and getting the groundwork.
Yeah.
It's not just the art piece itself, but it's interesting when you see the markups on these art pieces. I mean, any government project's gonna have like a 35% markup for something that's done in private and just
Is that because we have like specific contractors we work with or?
Well, because we're the government, we can pay it. Yeah, I mean, that's it's not just Cupertino, it's, your federal.
Yeah.
state level.
Yes, I mean, I work at Stanford and we pay arm and leg for even like putting a chair here.
Yes.
Because, they have specific contractors and they cannot work with anybody else. Like if I bring my contractor who's ready to do it in $20, they won't hire him because of the liability issues. So that's what I'm asking, does city of Cupertino has these restrictions?
Well, yeah, so, I don't, this might be going off topic.
Yeah,
but
sorry.
If you're okay with me answering.
Please.
Yeah, so, I mean, the way contracts work, we have specific, like, for example, had to do a peer review, hire a biologist to do a peer review for bird safe windows, for example, and a couple $1,000, but that person had to provide, insurance, liability insurance up to $1 million, and all this stuff. And a lot of our standards, we waived from because it wasn't a lot of money, but there's a lot that, because of our own liability and as a public agency too, you can't just say, it's okay, we'll skip that. Or, that's fine. We have, there's a whole process. So,
Thanks, Sean.
sure.
Thank you for
Yeah.
the context. Yeah, I'd
That's
love
very
to,
helpful.
I'll try to do a little bit of my own research to try to understand, like, across different cities, across different examples, like, what is a reasonable cost of a mural? Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Yeah.
so this is just more examples of calls for artists, is it possible, to send out this presentation to the commissioners afterwards?
I think we can add this to the website as a presentation.
Yeah, just to the agenda.
Yeah, because that's typically what we do. So, I think we have space for that. So.
Okay, okay. Great.
So,
So, yeah, not gonna read it word for word, but
Yes.
in your own time, feel free to reference it. Yeah, let's see, okay. Outdoor exhibition of existing large scale sculptures. We have. Yeah, basically a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. So, yeah, basically the message I want to share here is how do we create opportunities for our local artists?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
questions?
Any questions?
Very good presentation. Thanks
Yeah.
for putting it together.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, in putting this together, it's just so inspiring to
Yeah.
see like what can be
What can we
done.
do? Yeah.
I think it's really easy for us to kind of be in our own bubble. But once you look outside, actually, there's so much possibility and there's so much that can be done. So
Yes, definitely.
I think as a commission, you could say it's our job to advocate for that. Even
Yeah,
if
but
it
it's
will,
definitely, we absolutely have our, the fact that we talked about artist award, but otherwise visibility for our artists or art itself or an event or a gallery, that the part of the gallery or the studios, all of these, we have heard from artists themselves.
Yes,
That they do not have the place.
Yes.
yes.
And there are a few, there are a few opportunities, so our artist award is one,
Yes.
in which we, in which we have an opportunity, and then, there's like one single day when we display it, right, on the day of the awards. So that's, was very limited in scope, right, at that time. Then there's the Fall Festival, which is in September. It's a community event. It is organized by Cupertino Rotary, but it's a city event. And they do in the senior center, the Fine Arts League of Cupertino. They basically do the operational part of it,
Okay.
but they get artists to display on that particular day. Again, it's one day, right? That's part of the whole event. And then the Library Foundation has been doing through the year, we have, of course, an art program there. Through the year, there are different themes every few months, season or inspired by something. And the commission, the foundation decides that they invite the artists and then they display on a rotating basis around the library. So it's the magazine area, and now even inside on the wall spaces where possible for the library. They are displayed on a rotation basis, and then they're removed and the next ones are displayed. So those are the only ones I am familiar of pieces of art on how they are invited and kind of given a platform. So it would be really nice to think of something more, at least I think of something more permanent, rather than 2 days, like the ones that we just talked about. Or like a bigger event or something, that would be nice.
Yeah, like when I think about Cupertino, and art wise, there's no event or nobody will come to Cupertino just to see something. It's like, oh, there's something, or if somebody comes to our house, you're always, running to San Francisco or something to, to show art so there's no art gallery as far as I know in Cupertino. There's no museum as far as I know. I mean, there's one, yeah, and then there is we don't have something like wine and art festival kind of thing. We don't have anything like that. So, we should think about those things and I really like, because we have so many artists I feel in the community and they submit, like last year we had 600 submissions or something like
200 something,
like
230.
total, with 250 for the kids, I mean, the young artists, and then, I mean, there were a lot of submissions, my numbers might be wrong. So I would like to display all of them so that they get a sense of pride, so we can think about, make it a mural out of that. So, and display prominently in various places. So yeah, that's wonderful that you're thinking the broad picture, and we should all think about all the small pieces that can bring the Cupertino to a higher level.
Yeah.
So,
John, do you know in terms of physical spaces, how do we get art in Quinlan or art at City Hall?
Well, I think for display inside, let's say, converting this room or whatnot, I mean, we have to talk to parks, so Jessica's.
I mean, not necessarily converting a room,
Right.
but
Just temporarily.
yeah, if we can have a wall or an area in which we have a
Large
rotating
area.
basis.
Yeah.
Of artwork from the community.
Well, I mean, I can run her through, Jessica and her, the Parks and Rec department, because they manage all these facilities.
Yeah, spaces,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one place to start, in terms of doing. murals, I mean, that's really that's gonna be a council decision, and through Public Works will be the one managing that process, but something interior, I mean, we have art pieces already out in the hallway.
Yeah.
It seems like they've been there for years. I don't know what the last time we rotated that stuff, but
I mean, that could be a great starting place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, we had so much talent from this past year,
Yes.
from artist awards.
yeah,
I'm sure if we told the artist, hey, do you want to exhibit in Quinlan? I'm sure a bunch of them would
Yeah.
say yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I feel Quinlan is a really nice location. It's so visited. It's so visited, unfortunately, even more than the city hall. I don't know. I think city
Yeah.
hall people come for jobs, right? To get something done.
yeah, I mean, it's usually never a good thing.
From permanent.
Citation.
Yeah.
That's even worse. Probably not a good friend. But here, because they're coming to register for classes, like I used to do for my kids, like
Okay.
constantly in that office, exactly where Jessica is. I used to live there on that street. So this is very visited for families,
Mhm.
and there's so many things, like right now there's some Korean art thing, there's something happening, so there were other people walking in, there's something else going on. We have a Rotary, plus it's open on the weekends, so people who are walking. But I think we will need to do, if this is the space, good advertisement. Because people may not even know that, hey, now we have this beautiful, so through the city channels, and we have very good access, and even through physical signage, at least in the beginning, that visit the new art gallery of Cupertino, our young artists, something like that, guide the people. But this is very visited.
It's open on the weekends.
Yes, it's open.
I believe so. I mean,
Well, the rooms are locked, but they can come in.
Awesome.
the
Yes,
city has so many facilities. I mean, you gotta even think like Blackberry Farm,
actually, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Senior Center. I mean, that's really
Senior
what.
center, including the sports center, has space which is underutilized.
McClellan Ranch is another one. I mean, those are all, McClellan Ranch,
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's incredible. There's a lot of facilities that we have.
yeah.
So it sounds like we have a lot of excitement
Yeah.
around this idea of exhibiting in city-owned physical spaces.
There could be one, yeah, permanent, semi-permanent
yeah.
kind of a thing. Obviously we need to refresh it, we need to see how to do it without taxing staff's time. So there are other things to it, but as an idea.
And I mean, actually, yeah, so I guess, how do we actually go about, like, trying to make this happen?
Well, I think this week I'll reach out to Jessica and her team to see, what's the process to get in Quinlan and whatnot. City Hall is a whole different animal. That's the city manager's office. So I think, so I do recall one of my predecessors did display the Artist Awards in City Hall, and it became it was just done without well, going through the proper channels. And so there was a process for that. But I think, but let me start with Jessica. and her-
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. No, and that's great. It's a great question, because the current artists, the winners aren't displayed anywhere. I don't believe. I thought they were
Well,
displayed.
the
in
winners,
right?
the winners are
They can
displayed in the library,
In the
Right.
library.
and that's great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's like what, like 10
Right.
of the over 200 applications that we received.
Sure.
So I'm sure there are many more artists
Yeah.
that would love to get the visibility.
Of
And
course.
you can also frame it as, I mean, it's beautifying the space and it's inviting more people into the Cupertino spaces, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so on just a note that also, just for context, Fourth Library is my favorite. I'm also still on the foundation. And it's very visited. It's very visited. You'll be shocked if I tell you the numbers. They are, I believe they're 2,000 to 3,000 a day. This was
Wow.
pre-COVID, the number. But let me tell you, people come there for the books and the content. They're not coming to see that as a destination. So if you do a gallery or a place, they come only for that. That gets more eyes, than somebody who's getting a book and just
Exactly.
glances over. Unless I know, like my son has something there, that family may go. But otherwise, you see them there, you may not even realize these are our own community
Exactly.
artists, and so it doesn't have that much prominence because of so much more going on. Yeah, and smaller children running and story time and all that happening. So I love the location for visibility. But I think a kind of a dedicated place will give it more, put it a little bit more on a pedestal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, these are white walls, whereas the library is like, there's stuff everywhere.
That's the thing, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, John, for
Sure.
looking into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, should we make a formal recommendation as a commission?
Yeah, you could, let's see, what's the recommended action, provide feedback on all programming ideas for the city of Cupertino. So, I mean, nothing that has to be motion or whatnot, but, I got a couple things, clarify funding for the art unexpected places, utility boxes as well. How to get display at Art in Quinlan and others, similar city facilities, what's the process for
Yeah.
that? And also clarifying that for City Hall too, what are the
Just for the
challenges?
sake, yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
Sure, just yeah, absolutely.
May I ask for, I mean, I know we have agenda items for the next meeting, perhaps this could be in the September? Or is it too soon?
Well, I mean, this could be,
We can figure.
Yeah,
it
you-
out.
Okay, so
So basically, you're requesting, can we talk about it again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but in September also because that's kind of a lighter meeting,
Yeah.
the one after that is going to be the big review.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's why, I mean,
Yeah, and we can
No,
come
no.
up with ideas, like,
just see how it works.
and we should come up with ideas like, like one or two ideas. What we can do.
Yeah.
or-
I mean, based on our discussion, it sounds like the two initiatives that are kind of bubbling to the surface. Sorry, is this physical space exhibition idea, gallery, and also murals. I mean, we can put it under the title of Art in Unexpected Places, just because
Yeah.
the city is familiar with that naming, but basically what it is murals. So, I mean, are people in alignment that that's kind of the two that we're kind of circling around right now? Any other ideas?
So we talked about like the art and wine festival, or like an event. Again, we can just put them, doesn't mean all three are going to be worked out in one
Mhm.
year, but
Exactly,
just, I mean, a thought again, we don't know.
or like artist week,
Mhm.
where, like people can come and display art, or just display art and hold workshop,
Yeah.
or to teach. Something like in library or
Yeah.
like here, Quinlan, so just make it like every year event,
Yeah.
or every
A
6
week,
months.
yeah, I really like that.
Absolutely.
So that, people know that, okay, it's coming, like, we know we have Cherry Festival coming, we have Diwali coming, we have,
Yeah.
different events that happen throughout the year. So that will become like a common, like mainstream, that, okay, every 6 months we have some artist coming and showing us how to do things. City can provide for it. I don't know how much money is involved in budgeting, I don't know.
So,
But these are just general ideas.
so what, there is a council work item that bubbled up from this commission, which is, reevaluating and amending our art and loop policy, which we do have. It's ancient policy, ancient 20 some odd years ago. But, I think one of the things that we have a year and a half to do as a commission is to revise that policy, which could further revise the municipal code to, to prioritize loop payments or art and private development. As well as once we get that money, from those loop fees, what can we do with it?
Yeah.
Can we spend it on programming? Can we spend it on staff? Can we spend it on specific art pieces, and how to do that? So I think a lot of these will be evaluated at a future date. Maybe we start looking at it in September. That's something you and I can talk about.
That'd be great.
Okay.
I mean, unless you had other things on the agenda.
Not off the top of my head. I know one of the concerns we had, maybe we want to get a full commission before we start looking at it. I mean, that's do we want to start the discussion? We have 5 commissioners, or are we okay with the 3?
I personally think I'm supportive of moving as fast as we can because our meeting cadence is already so infrequent.
I also feel, I mean, whenever we have the time on the agenda, we should continue discussing. Because even with the full commission, you may not have 5 people every
Yeah.
time.
Right, right. Okay.
I mean, obviously, if staff council is able to get more commissioners,
Yeah,
like sooner rather than later, I mean, that's by far the preferred.
sure.
But I don't want us to delay progress because we're waiting.
Sure. We have momentum, let's.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think for our agenda review later this month.
Yeah. Let's tentatively say, at least from my perspective, I would ask for it to be an agenda.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay, anything else? Great, thank you all.
Thank you.
And then, let's see. I think the last is an update from the mayor's commission meeting.
Do you want me to show your PDF?
Yes, please, go ahead, please.
So you have to attend all the meetings now that?
Yeah, it used to be alternating vice chair. Actually,
One.
can we have vice chair elections?
Today?
No, I mean, not today, but like, are we able to?
In September.
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Because, yeah, that would be great. Just so.
Yeah.
It's great to have a
In
vice chair.
I'm just,
Another vice.
I'm pre-calling everything because we need to move fast.
I mean, if we're in agreement.
As it is, there's no payment or salary involved. Correct, I got that. There's no salary.
Great, let's add that to September.
Salary.
Birthday, like, you know, like a birthday, like when Cupertino city was recognized.
Yeah, there is a date.
Is it it?
Yes. There is a date. I don't know what it is right now.
I mean, it'll be good to put that, like, you know, as,
There's a date.
okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna go through it completely line by line. John, can you do the same thing as the other report and just attach this to the agenda?
As a presentation, yeah. I think so.
It's already agendized.
Okay.
Yeah, just so you all can
Okay.
read it and have it as a reference
Okay.
in your own time. But let's see, okay, a couple big things. Okay, so I guess for our commission, so just a reminder, the way the mayor's commissioner meeting works. So normally it's it's every 2 months and it alternates in person, virtual. And normally we would alternate chair in attendance and vice chair in attendance, but I've been filling in ever since vice chair Moss sat down. So yes, it'd be great to have a vice chair.
Also, there's a bot there.
There are no primaries.
That's it.
Just got nominated.
The new Miss X or Mr. X.
Yeah, so the goal is really for the commissions to share with the mayor and all the other commissioners, like what are some key highlights from the past 2 months? And it's also for the mayor and city manager to share with the commissioners, any big updates, that they want to share. So the main thing that I wanted to highlight at our July meeting was basically to raise the alarm of, hey, like, we don't have quorum. We're really struggling to reach quorum. Can we please have council and staff consider an off-cycle appointment of commissioners? So because I mean, only having 3 commissioners really hinders our ability to do time-sensitive business and foster art within our community. So I think that was well received. It sounds like there hasn't actually been movement. Have you heard any updates?
There's a lot of hesitation, that, what I know, there's a lot of hesitation to do that for, you know, election cycle, election year, big election.
Oh, yeah.
Else too, so I think. Yeah, I think, you know, I keep sending messages.
Is the concern like time, just like people's time?
Yeah, I think in the past it was as much of an issue. From what, again, I don't know the. I hesitate to answer, you know, for the city manager and the mayor in this case. It's really the two of them that together make this decision. But I think a lot of it has to do with it being an election year as well as, you know, having partial appointments amongst the commission. That's my feeling. I could be wrong. You know, not to put something in the record that's wrong. So, but you know, but what's for sure is that it's the preference is to wait till January.
Okay.
But you know, keep doing what you're doing. It's
I'll try again.
speaking to you, right?
Yeah, I'll try again.
Can we recommend people?
It's a
Well,
completely council.
it's appointed by council. So the way the process would work is actually the application's already open.
Okay.
So people have been able to submit applications, and I think I know 2 people who have submitted applications. But the formal process, after the application is received, it needs to be reviewed by council and staff,
Okay.
and then the appointment process has to be done by council. So council needs to vote and say
Okay.
aye or nay, whether or not they want to appoint the candidate onto the commission, so.
Into through the chair too. They're not doing backup appointments as well either.
Right.
Perhaps used to.
Yeah.
Okay, my preference, applying for planning commission, but if I get the Parks and Rec commission, I'm fine with that. And they've done away with that process.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, I think it sounds like the 3 of us are in agreement that, I mean, it's great. We have 3 great commissioners, but it would be great to have more. I will do my best to represent. Okay, let's see. Bike ped. In May, they had one of their flagship events, Bike to Wherever. So, yeah, basically promoting biking in the city. I don't know if you saw their station.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So anyways, biking is great. The big thing from the housing perspective, and the mayor shared this as well, is for the RISE project, a settlement was reached. Which, I mean, you probably know it way better than I do, but basically, I think I think a settlement was reached, which people were happy about, which basically meant that basically the process of constructing RISE could move forward. And for the RISE project, that'd be 2,600 units of housing with 890 of them being affordable housing. So it's exciting to see movement on that very large project. And I believe the housing element was also approved.
Yes, it was.
Council approved the housing element, and they also approved the rezoning associated with the housing element. Now we're just waiting for housing community development at the state level to give us go ahead. I mean, they gave us they issued a letter in April stating that we can move forward with what we had, the draft. But of course, they could always have something wrong with it. God, I hope not. But yeah, yes.
Yeah, that's exciting. Okay. One thing from the library commission is they mentioned connecting with other commissions to discuss and plan how to help each other and collaborate.
Yes.
So actually I feel like this could be an opportunity for our
Yes,
commission as
yes,
well.
definitely.
There's a lot of overlap, so.
Oh, yes, that would be really good.
Yeah,
So maybe
we've
we can
actually
reach out.
had traditionally good collaboration with the library commission, also because of the space.
Right.
And this, our audience awards program and using the space there. So there is anyhow an actual link. But we can discuss more related to our new program areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're very open to that,
Absolutely.
the commission and
Are
the
you
library.
familiar with members?
Yes, yes,
Great.
definitely,
You
yeah.
can be our liaison.
I'm happy to do that. Yeah, they are very open and looking for.
That's
ideas.
awesome,
Good
that's awesome.
ideas too.
Yeah,
Perfect.
New ideas.
that's awesome, that's awesome. And I know that the library commission also has a poet laureate
Yes.
program.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel, poetry,
I know.
wheting, it's
Yes.
very in our
It is.
wheelhouse as well.
Yes.
So that could be an area where
Yeah,
we can collaborate.
In fact, that's the
Yeah,
one
we
that
can have a-
Library Foundation sponsors
Oh,
financially.
Awesome,
You
awesome.
can have a poetry day where all the youngsters can come and read, or anybody can come and read their poetry.
Absolutely.
This can all be arranged very easily with the
Yes.
Library Commission.
Right.
That would be great.
That's awesome. Let's see. Parks and Rec, reviewed and recommended, city council approved on committee, park final design. Blah, 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 cancel planning. Recommendations to changes for the housing element. Public safety. ALPR, I think that was ALPR. Oh, there's a automated license plate recognition program that Public Safety Commission is involved in, or at least providing recommendations for. Yeah, I remember there being some discussion about that. And then. I will not read through everything line by line, but if you're able to attach onto the agenda, yeah, then everyone else can take a look at that. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
Thanks for attending the.
of course. Yeah, I mean, I think,
There's a lot, yeah.
yeah, the hope is to be as transparent as possible as
Okay.
well. Like even though only one member of the commission can attend, I want to make sure that all of us have visibility into what's being
Yeah.
discussed.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all that I have. Are there any staff reports?
No, although, I think I get my staff report ready about the bench support project. Again, for the butterfly garden, they submitted for the building permits. I've approved it, so hopefully they'll start that soon. Very excited about that. The other art pieces, that just got approved for building permits was the one at the Forum Development, if you remember that, like a year and a half ago. So that's gonna go in hopefully by end of year, and as well as the other art piece on the corner of Foothill Boulevard and Stevens Creek. Other than the southwest corner over there, small piece, but it came before the commission, last year. So expect a few more developments coming in. Nothing foreseeable future in terms of private development. But hopefully soon. Jessica just reminded me after she left that she is out in Japan between November 9th and November 24th. And November 19th is when we have our selection. So if we can't decide tonight, she just said if we're wedded to a Monday, does December 2nd work? That might give the commission more time to review our pieces rather than, it gives you another 2 weeks.
I cannot make it December.
December 2nd, okay, so that's a no, okay.
I cannot make it till December 15th, actually.
December 15th, okay, so the 19th is really before the end of the year,
Yeah.
okay.
I thought it was 18th.
18th, yes,
Yeah,
sorry,
19th I cannot.
sorry, okay, November 18th, okay.
Wait, so what did you say?
I cannot do 19th November or December 2nd.
Oh, you're not available for the November meeting?
I'm available on 18th.
Oh, you are available.
Yeah.
It's just Jessica's,
Yeah.
Jessica's coming.
take advantage of favorable dollar. Probably the sixth person I know. Okay, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable making a date tonight, I can work with Jessica, and figure it out.
When is she going?
She's going from November 9th to, check text message again,
Can we? do-
November 9th,
Oh, no.
November 24th. We could do earlier
Yeah,
than
I would
November
prefer
9th.
that.
Okay,
Let's see, so,
if you guys are okay.
I mean.
Oh, what date? Sorry.
so she's gone starting November 9th.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
could,
the week before, like,
so basically like November 4th. Because any earlier, I really worry that that doesn't give Jessica a lot of time to
Jessica,
compile,
yeah.
and that also
Yeah.
doesn't give us a lot of time to review.
Yes,
Okay, November 4th.
because the deadline is October 1st.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so,
It'll give a month to.
yeah, to
Yeah.
review
I,
everything.
I'll have to check a few things, but right now it looks okay.
Okay,
Not that I plan to book afterwards, but that not everything is on my calendar.
Yeah,
if,
I have a trip end of October, but I think I'm back the week before, but I
Oh,
don't have to
gosh.
check.
so I mean, through the chair, it'd be, if you think we can wait until September to make a final decision, that's fine.
that should be, well, I mean, no, I mean. Can you try following up in the meantime, just aligning on a date, because I mean, for our own scheduling purposes, it's better to have it on the calendar sooner. sooner
Yeah,
rather-
sure. Absolutely.
I think,
No.
we yeah,
Yeah, so just to clarify. When I book my trips, I've already taken care of all the meetings. So, except if you decide to change that.
Right,
Now,
right,
I
right.
can't give you a direct answer. That's what I'm trying to say.
No,
So, including my India trip I made after the meeting, and I come back before.
Okay,
I think about these things, but if you change now, I'll have to check with the family when
Okay.
that October trip is, yeah. I think I'm back, but I don't want to say 100% right now.
no, that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah, that's all, yeah. If I'm here, I'll definitely try to make it, yes.
well, because we
can-
only have three commissioners, we
I
need
know,
you.
Can we zoom in?
so the rule is you can, but a quorum has to be present.
Yes.
So that means that, no. So if we had a planning commission, I'm sorry, if we had five folks, the commission, you could have two people on Zoom, those three have to be present.
Okay.
But then those two on Zoom don't count, looks like.
They do count.
Oh, they do count,
There has to be a.
That's fair.
but then how does that work?
How's that any different?
So basically, so because there's only
Okay,
three,
okay.
you can't do.
Okay, so I guess it sounds like the
Number
action,
4 is tentative and you can just,
and then you will follow up, you two will follow up,
I mean, Sean is going to follow up with everyone.
So,
okay,
um,
November 4th.
and I'll double check if we can facilitate a new date without having to make a vote at a commission hearing. Because it might need to be,
But
maybe not,
well, no, because for special meetings, we can call special meetings anytime.
right,
It can just be a special meeting.
but, right, because that's what we did, that's
Yeah, that's what we did for this.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right, thank you.
Special meeting, but meeting not happening.
Exactly. So cancel the scheduled one and create a special
Yeah.
meeting.
But we'll be in touch this week.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your patience, I'm sorry.
Oh, lovely.
Really special, I mean.
You're a new special commission. We only have special meetings.
Artists, because artists are always weird.
We changed the May 1,
Yeah.
we changed the July. We changed-
Thank you, guys.
That's what you're doing.
I think November 4th, like,
It
let's
would
figure
work,
it
yeah,
out.
I think we'll.
Okay, sorry, real quick, I know we don't wanna leave, future agenda setting, are there any topics that people wanna bring up that they want to sorry, let me read the script. I announce the opportunity for future agenda setting and invite commissioners to suggest future agenda items. Commissioners need a second to add items to the list, chair can add anything to the list without a second. So any recommendations, any motions for what you would want as a future agenda item?
I heard you discussed.
Yeah, so what we've already talked about is
Take
to
it.
talk about RMU. And then vice chair elections. Anything else?
Program.
Oh, programming, yes, programming, following up on the programming. Okay, cool, that sounds like a good agenda. Okay, then. Seeing that we are done with our agenda, I now call this meeting adjourned